For many, the Land Rover Range Rover is the ultimate go anywhere, do anything vehicle. I mean, there aren't many places on dry land that you can't get in a Range Rover with a little bit of patience and a lot of preparation. But it's also a very refined vehicle on the inside that you can spray down at the end of a day of off-roading and valet park at the finest restaurant without the need to be embarrassed. Now, this 2013 model takes a step closer towards refinement by moving from a truck-based body-on-frame to a monocoque unibody that's more car-like, but in the process, hasn't lost any of that off-street cred. I'm Antoine Goodwin. Let's take a look at this 2013 Land Rover Range Rover Supercharged and try to find out. Now up front here, we've got new headlights that are more Range Rover Evoque inspired, and they wrap around and in the middle more closely integrate with the front grille. I like that. Generally speaking though, the proportions and lines of the vehicle are still classic Range Rover. You'll definitely know that this is a Rover when you see it going down the street. You've got the classic front overhangs that are very short. Out back we've got a little bit of a longer overhang to make room for your space here in the back, but you'll see that the angle here is very steep so that you still get those very good approach and departure angles when you actually want to take this thing off-road. Now underneath this clamshell hood, we've got a 5-liter aluminum block V8 engine. Now by building the engine out of aluminum, you save weight, which is good because in a vehicle of this size, every pound matters. Now on top of that engine, we've got a supercharger that's force feeding it air through 2 intakes. Power is outputted at about 510 horsepower, 461 pound-feet of torque. That's nothing to snuff your nose at. And what's interesting here is that if you look closely, you can see also that we've got some of the pneumatic lines for the adaptive air suspension. You've got the left rear, the left front, the right rear, the right front. Everything is kind of compact and run off of the engine. So when you raise and lower the height of the vehicle, which we'll get to in a second, you don't actually need a separate compressor. Now the EPA estimates that you'll get about 15 miles per gallon over a combined cycle in city or highway. I actually got 15.1, which in my book's pretty good. Now, power from that V8 engine is going to come through an 8-speed automatic transmission that you'll control with this knob right here. It's the shift knob, and it's interesting because it is actually a knob that you twist. It rises up out of the center console when you power the vehicle up. This is pretty much parts bin Jaguar Land Rover stuff, but I really like it. You've also got paddle shifters here on the back of the steering wheel, and it's interesting because with the menu here on the dashboard, you can disable them when you're in the regular drive mode and don't want to be shifting around. That's going to keep you from accidentally downshifting when you kind of just want to, get around a parking structure. I like that ability. A little bit further down the center console, we have all of the controls for Land Rover's Terrain Response 2 system. You have an automatic mode that pretty much handles and evaluates the road as you drive along and does all of the shifting of power between front and rear, left and right on its own. But when things get a little rocky or a little muddy, you can hit that auto button and it'll pop up into a knob. And from here you have the ability to select programs for different types of terrain. You've got gravel and snow, you've got rutted roads, you've got sand, you've also got rock climbing. You put it in any of those modes and the LCD screen will tell you everything that you need to know about what kind of terrain you're on. It'll also give you on-screen prompts of as far as any other settings that you may have to make that it can't automatically make. Additionally, our vehicle is equipped with a air suspension system with 4 different levels of height adjustment. The standard adjustment is what you're going to drive around town in. There's also an access mode that'll actually lower the vehicle down closer to the ground, makes it easier to get into and out of, and keeps you from scraping your roof when you go through parking structures. There are also 2 off-road levels that'll raise it up above the standard ride height for a little bit more ground clearance. Now on the dashboard, we've got the hard drive based navigation system. This too is also kind of parts bin Jaguar Land Rover. It's pretty good. Not my favorite system in the world. The graphics are good, but the way the menus are set up, a lot of the features that you would want to access on a daily basis, such as searching for a destination, searching for a gas station, these things are hidden under multiple levels of menus. What's not standard is our 19-speaker, 825-watt Meridian surround sound stereo. This is actually a pretty good system, and I think it's worth the cost of entry. You've also got a number of cameras on our vehicle, which is equipped with the Vision package. That gives you on the front of the vehicle, a front-facing camera that gives you 90-degree views in either direction from the front bumper, which is good for when you're nosing out of a blind alley. The problem with this system, though, is you've also got other cameras that are hidden under a menu. You've got these sort of side curb cameras that kind of function like Nissan and Infinity's bird's eye view camera, but you can't actually get to them unless you dive into a menu. So our vehicle is also equipped with a comfort package that's going to add heated and cooled seats to the front row. It's going to give you 3-zone climate control, and it's also going to add a massage function. You can hop into a menu, and then you've got to dive into another menu where you control intensity, and you can set timers and set different programs, but it's a lot of button pressing on the screen when you should actually be driving. Now, you may be tempted to enact a no food or drinks in the car rule. This is that nice of an interior, but you may want to make an allowance for drinks so you can take advantage of the refrigerator in the center console. So the Range Rover Supercharged is at home on the road, but it is more at home off of the road. So we're gonna do a little bit of that. We're doing some graveling. I don't really want to call this off-roading. I know people whose driveways are rougher than this. Now, again, as I said, the terrain management system is second generation, and it's pretty much right now analyzing the ground below me. So as like one wheel gets a little bit of slip, as one wheel kind of dips down into a rut, it's constantly analyzing the road beneath me in order to give me the best available grip without me having to do a lot of fiddling around with different drive modes. Now, terrain or the situation underneath me gets too precarious. I can actually select those individual drive modes to kind of get it sort of a preset of what it should expect to do. So there is a lot to like about this vehicle's off-road capabilities. It just handles everything with stride, and it handles all of these things, again, in its automatic mode. Now, if I really wanted to kind of climb up a mountain or scramble up a gravelly hill, I actually still have those the low transfer mode. I can lock the differential. I can do a lot of different things in order to kind of increase what I like to call the off-road survivability of this vehicle. And all of that is happening outside of the vehicle, while inside I'm enjoying the massage seats, the heated seated surfaces, the air conditioning. I could be listening to the premium audio system. I'm very isolated from everything that's happening outside of the fact that, I'm getting kind of shaken around a little bit, but you can't really be helped. Now, to roll off of the lot in a brand new 2013 Range Rover Supercharged, it's going to cost you about $99,100. Now, that's before a $100 California emissions charge and about $895 in destinations charge. Now, our example here has $11,000 worth of options added on top of that. Didn't misspeak, $11,000 worth of options, and that includes the cabin comfort package that's going to get you those heated seats, the Meridian surround sound system, a variety of upgrades, including the around view camera system, and it's going to bring you to an as-tested price of $111,120. Now, that's a lot of money. Definitely can't afford one of these, but I'm going to steal one when civilization falls.